that.
Yeah, it's a
interesting,
pretty interesting deal that they have going on. Anyway, so Tom, as far as your background, I know a little bit about. I know you grew up in Wheeling, right?
Yeah.
From what I
West Virginia.
Yeah, and you must have moved here to Pittsburgh at some point then, or
yeah, I was. Well, I finished all my schooling in West Virginia and graduated from college when I was 24, and that's when I moved to South Hills of Pittsburgh. Actually moved to Bridgeville. Lived there for about 4 or 5 years. And I live in McMurray now, and I've been here since.
So have you done music full time the whole time, or just?
No, what brought me up here, well, what really brought me up here was the girl that's now my wife of 18 years, and we've been together since, well, longer than she'd probably care for me to tell you, but I got a teaching job at a Catholic school up in Bethel Park at St. Thomas More, and I spent 18 years teaching school before I made the move in my early 40s to pursue music full time.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. I mean, you probably were playing the whole time though. I mean, it isn't like
I was.
You didn't just pick up the guitar at 40.
And well, in Wheeling, the drinking age was 18 when I grew up in West Virginia, and I joined a band when I was 15 years old, and I was playing at an all-night club from 10 until 2 o'clock in the morning every Friday and Saturday night for almost 3 years.
Wow.
In McMecken, West Virginia, and that was during my junior and senior year in high school. So it was a pretty unique experience. We had the club was right down the street from our drummer's house, and our drummer, his mother was our manager. So she served as our the responsible party or whatever that could get us in the bars. Of course, we weren't drinking or anything then, but yeah, it was quite an experience because it was a heavy drinking crowd too. Really, really unique experience. My son's 14 now, and we're going to a bar on Saturday night to hear him play. So he's following in my footsteps for right now. But it's, at least in his band, all the parents were all good friends, and we kind of accompany them to these different shows. But
yeah, yeah. So that's funny because I grew up in Washington here, and we had a band in high school, and the drinking age. We're dating ourselves then, it's not by saying this, but it was 18, and we used to play gigs in Wheeling at Lou's Voodoo Club.
Oh yeah,
and the
on the island,
and the M&K Lounge.
Wow.
And
the M&K Lounge. I played a few shows there.
Right there on 40, I think it was when it came. Yeah. But we did get served. I mean, we had it was in our contract, which boy, my mother, God bless her, for putting up with. I mean, I was 15, and we were getting served at Lou's Voodoo, and I could tell you stories, but we'll take a long.
Sure.
We could compare stories.
Well, it was a different day then, Mitch.
Yeah,
it was a different age. It
yeah,
really was.
And I would never encourage anybody to do any of that stuff.
I thank God. My son's 14 years old, and he's still asking me to go to the ball field and kick field goals. At 14, he'll be 15 next month.
Wow.
My wife reminded me of that the other day. She said, think about when you were 15.
No.
I was doing a lot of different things. I don't think I was getting my dad to take me to the ball field to kick field goals, So.
Yeah, yeah. So, you want to dig into something else, or anything that coming up off of the new CD, or something maybe it goes back in the vaults from I like to always ask folks to when we talk about where you came from and the history of your musical experience. It's like one of those things. I don't want to put you on the spot, play whatever.
No. I've got something actually in mind on in that particular vein, especially since we're talking about. I've obviously been mentioning my son. It preoccupies a lot of my time, his age.
Right.
But this song serves a couple purposes. It's a song I wrote it when he was very young. And I think it applies more today than it did at the time I wrote it. But it also documents, I think, Mitch, as a songwriter, everything comes from your own experience, but probably 95% of the things that you do probably have some fiction in them to, just for the purpose of finishing a song or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I know mine do anyway. And this might be the only song of hundreds of songs where every single line and detail is autobiographical. It's all real. So
Okay.
let me do this thing. It's called My Old Man and Me. Little white house on 7th Street, 6 feet from the armature factory. House number painted on the sidewalk step. My youngest brother, not born yet. The river lay just beyond the trees, where a paper kite danced circles in the breeze. The string we tied wrapped tight among those leaves snapped and lay in loops at our feet. We just smiled, my old man and me. My folks bought a place up on the hill. I don't live with them no more, but I go there still. In my mind sometimes it seems so far away. Other times it feels like yesterday. The town that lay just beyond the trees, the laughter and the tears, memories, the trains that ran round the Christmas tree, the two of us at bedtime on our knees to say our prayers. My old man and me. Well, he'd smoke his pipe, put it in his pocket, and I'd watch the smoke rise right up from his jeans. He'd curse and yell, tell us boys to watch him. Hey, it's funny now how much those small things mean. A solid brick house on Friar Lane. Times have changed, but life's the same. Every year I watch my young boy grow. I try to raise him right, but I don't know. Tomorrow waits just beyond the trees, and all those who came before us, fallen leaves, side by side in the autumn breeze. I look down at him, he looks up to me. All I can see, my old man and me. My old man and me. My old man and me.
Wow. Great song, man.
Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's really, really good. Is that a new one, or is that's
No, that was on Two Tone Chevrolet, which was the record I told you B.C. Taylor helped me finish, and
Wow.
I think it was out in 2004. I think.
I'll have to get a copy of that.
I'll be happy to give you one.
So, that makes me think of legacy. Full disclosure. I know my son did a record with you and Chris and Weathered Road and
Oh
everything.
man, I love those guys, and I love that record. That was, I opened the Marathon Studio. Oh, it's been about 5 years now, and I've done a lot of really interesting things there, but I can't think of